Hello. Hello, my little nutrition hackers. I feel like I have to come up with a better name for you guys. Like nutrition hackers is just long. Okay, we're in my kitchen, and we are making the most amazing garlic and feta zoodles, which is, for those of you who don't know what that means, it's a zucchini noodle. It's like all the rage for people who are crazy health nuts. And they're like, oh, look, we get to have pasta without being high in carbs and low in nutrients, which is, I mean, I shouldn't make fun of them. That's totally like something I would do. But it's totally not something I would do because people buy these like spiralizers and then they like put the zucchini in and they like churn it and it makes the like zoodles. I shouldn't say I'll never do that, but like, I don't put that under the category of super simple. Like that's like a lot, that's like unnecessarily annoying steps. So I've been wanting to do them for a while, but never did it until, check this out. Look what I found at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's zucchini spirals. Boom. They're frozen. They do not have a texture if you keep kosher, but I asked my rabbi, who is the head of the OU for the entire West Coast, and he said they're fine, because the only ingredient is zucchini and like a little salt. So you could ask your rabbi if you're concerned about it. So that's that. I also have a nice little bowl. I'm gonna put it in once it's done. I have my garlic I'm gonna chop up. Of course it's pre-peeled. You know I didn't peel it myself. And my feta. Do you see here that my feta is from sheep's milk? Can you see that? Made from 100% sheep's milk. And imported from Israel. So that's like a little Israeli pride there for you. I really encourage, if you're going to use feta, to get sheep's milk feta because it's much better. I don't know if there's such a big taste difference, to be honest, but digestive wise it's much better. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm just, hold on, see, trying to put my stove on. God bless my cleaning lady who just cleaned it and now it won't start. Let me make sure all the little thingies are uncovered so that it will work. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. Boom. It's on. So now, how should I prop you up? Right here. I prop you right here. Will that work? Woo! Look at that! It's a new spot for you. Okay. That was more exciting for me than maybe it was for you. Okay, so they're still frozen. I just took it out of the freezer. You don't have to defrost it first. And you don't have to put anything in the pan. Right now there's like probably a little butter left in my pan because I like fried my kid an egg a little bit ago and I didn't wash it out because I know I was going to use it against you and I don't care. So there you go. You can copy that. So they're not so appealing at this point. See, this is the bag. Ah! Just rip it open. I'm just dumping it in like this. Boom. You want to see it? Okay. See, it's just like a chunk of zoodles. I have the flame on high and I'm going to put a little bit of salt like that. And then I'm putting my top on. Well, my broken top, I know. Whoever watches me use this broken top too often. Okay. Boom. Good. On. Okay, so now, while that's cooking on high, and I'll go and stir it in a little bit, not because you have to, but I feel like it kind of speeds it up a little bit. Okay, sorry, it's really sunny in here. My day's a little thrown off because one of my kids has school, but the other one is home. He's actually at a friend's house right now, so that's why I have the piece to do this. Well, it's so hot from all like the heat being on. I mean, it's cold, so I've had the heater on, and then, you know, like when you have the heater on, like everything gets really staticky. Anyways, okay. So anyways, there's fires in LA right now, like raging fires. It's actually kind of scary. And so thank God there's still like at least like 6 miles or so from my house. But my kid's school, my older one, his school is 6 miles away. And there's a fire that's like not even a mile from his school. So their school's closed today. So he's like, anyways, thank God there haven't been any casualties yet. And I hope that it continues and everyone's safe and they get to put it out, figure it out somehow. Okay. So normally, sorry, I feel like the light is really annoying right now. Sorry. Okay. So you can see the garlic now. I'm going to try and stand here so you can see better. But where did the garlic go? I lost my pea. There it is. Okay. So normally, you know, like when I make things, I'll often just throw the garlic in the pan and I don't bother cutting it. For this, I do. But it's not going to get cooked. I'm just going to cut it actually into small pieces. And if you want, you can like put it in one of those garlic crushers. honestly, I feel like I can't be bothered to do that. I feel like they're more annoying to clean than just slicing it. And also, it tastes really good, but the chunk's kind of big. Can you see how big I'm doing them? Like that. So I'm putting them now in the bowl. Just kind of tossing them in here, like so. And then I'm gonna put a glob of butter on top, actually. Okay. Let me grab the butter. I'm gonna shake that for a second. Okay. And then while it's cooking, I'll continue to tell you why this is really healthy. Okay, so here we go. Here's my garlic in there. Here's my glob of butter. Yes, I use real butter. No, I don't recommend margarine. No, I don't recommend a healthier margarine. Like, what's it called? What's the healthier one people like? Earth Balance. I don't like Earth Balance either. I would use Earth Balance before I would use regular margarine, but I don't use either. Okay, and I can tell you more if you ask, if you want more. Okay, so now I'm just kind of like gonna mix my garlic into my butter. I can pick up a phone for that and see better. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of like get the butter all kind of mushed in with the garlic, like that. I kind of just want the flavors to bleed all over each other. So there you go. Now, I'm gonna go check on my Zoodles and kind of just like gonna, you can see there's a real science. I'm joking, there's no science. I'm just like trying to get it to cook as fast as I can. I mean, it's not like it matters. You can have it be slower, but if you have no patience like I do, then you can kind of just go like this. Okay, so that hard chunk is still frozen. Okay, but I'm just going to leave it on high and hope it cooks fast. Okay, so now, while I have that cooking, I'll tell you what makes this so healthy. So, of course, as you know, or maybe you don't know, probably not everyone does this. So garlic is a natural antibiotic. Sorry, the light's so weird. I'm going to try a little better. Garlic's a natural antibiotic. It's really good for your immune system, especially like in this winter. I'd say like this cold weather, but like in LA, cold weather is like all relative, We're like, I had to wear a sweatshirt this morning. I was cold in my flip-flops. But I didn't put on other shoes. Anyways, so yeah, garlic's really great. The truth is it's better raw than cooked. It has more of those like antibacterial properties, but it's still really good cooked too. And honestly, I'm not really cooking it. I just like mush it into the butter, and then when the Zoodles are done, I'm gonna like take them out where they're really hot and just put it into the butter and mix it all up. And then I'll probably put like a little pepper. You can decide that together. And then put some feta on top, and they're so good. I choose definitely the sheep's milk feta because sheep's milk is much easier to digest. So you've probably noticed, if you're a person that watches a lot of these and uses a lot of my recipes, that I don't do a lot of dairy. I'm not inherently anti-dairy by any stretch, but some people do better on it than others. And in my family, there's me and my husband and we have 2 boys. One of my boys does well on dairy. The rest of us, like, we're all better off with not really having it. But feta is much easier on everyone, much easier to digest because, especially, well, feta and sheep's milk feta in particular. So feta, just because the way it's made, the way they process it, it's like a kind of, I don't want to say ancient art, but it's very different than like making cheddar, you know what I'm saying? Like the process they put it through. And because it's made in a more, what's the word? Like traditional sense, it's more traditionally prepared. It's easier for us to break down because in the preparation process, it breaks down. In addition, sheep's milk, oh look, let's look at the Zoodles they're getting right now here. I'm going to start with the fork actually and see if that helps. Okay. See? Let me flip, see if I can get the cold part into the pan. It's almost done. It's getting there. It's getting there! Oh, nice chunks right here. Ah! That's almost done. Move that out of the way. Okay. And see, there's our butter. I'm trying to block the light for you. That's our butter garlic mash. So that's almost done. So I'll tell you a little bit more about why it's so awesome. Anyway, so yeah, sheep's milk is more similar to goat's milk, and therefore and more similar to human milk actually. So that just means our body's better designed to break it down. So, you know, for those of you who get like a tummy ache, or you suspect you might have some sensitivities to dairy, you can try sheep's milk feta and see how that goes. In our house, we all do much, much, much better on it. Like if I have regular cheese, like my stomach is like, ah, why'd you do that to me? And if I have feta, my stomach's like, that's cool, I can handle that. Like, it's not amazing, honestly. But I feel good enough that like I'll have it once in a while. It's not like, you know, I don't want to live in jail. I enjoy my feta. So that's the feta. Then zucchini is like a fun little vegetable that doesn't really get much attention. But it actually has quite a lot of potassium in it. I find myself like randomly will just be craving zucchini. Obviously it's not the same kind of craving as like chocolate, but I don't know, maybe it is, whatever. But I do sometimes crave it, like kind of like comes out of nowhere, and I have it a few times and then I feel better. It's almost done now. Here, again. So it's high in potassium, and the reason why it's just like fun is like, you know, if you're a person that like misses having noodles but you enjoy being low carb, okay, it's pretty much done. So you can just like leave it till all the liquid absorbs, or you can just kind of like pick it out like this and let like the liquid drip off of it. It kind of doesn't matter. You can't really mess it up. Like the flavors are so good, like what are you going to do to make it bad? You can't. Okay, and now I'm just going to bring my bowl over there, and I'm just going to, see, just like scooping it up like noodles. What this is good for, you know, it's like sometimes you just want to have that experience, or you want this kind of sauce, but like if you're a person who like, you know, you feel better when you don't have noodles, then it's like, what else are you going to have like a garlic butter sauce on? I guess you could put it on any steamed vegetable is the truth, but put another spoonful. But I don't know, it's kind of fun to have it on something that looks like noodles. So look, I mean, I know my presentation is not the best in the world, but you'll forgive me. Okay, so there you go. Going like this. It's gonna probably need some more salt, although feta has a lot of salt in it, so maybe I won't put more salt. You know what? I'm just gonna go to the other counter because this light is so strong here. Okay, this is better. Left over my salad from lunch. I didn't finish. Okay. So here it is in the bowl. Let me tell you down a little more. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle the feta on top. Like this. I made this, I really liked it, but my husband like went crazy. He's like, this is so good. And especially I think for him, because he's like, I'm mostly gluten-free because like it really upsets my stomach if I have a lot, but if I just have like a little bit, it doesn't really bother me. But for him, if he has even a little bit, he feels really gross. So he kind of avoids it all. So he like never has noodles anymore. But look. So again, no one's gonna be like, you know, you're not gonna fool anyone into thinking this is noodles, but it is super delicious. And so that's how you do it. And then when you taste it, if you're like, I wish it had a little more, whatever, whether it's salt or pepper or garlic, you can add that at that point. But I think it's important to notice that I didn't put the garlic in the pan. I just put it in the bowl, and that keeps the garlic like nice and like intensely garlicky, instead of like once it's in the pan, it loses most of its intensity. You know, it becomes like garlic hinted instead of like garlic. What else did I want to say? Oh, exciting! That I wanted to tell you guys that whoever watched last week, you saw I did the live on like how to convert any baking recipe to a healthy recipe, and then at the end I mentioned that I want to offer you guys like a free training. So I sent out like a survey of like, what do you guys most want to learn about? And the one that came like number one by far was like, I'm so tired, Shayna, please help me have more energy. Number 2 was mood also, so maybe I'll do one on that after. But right now, like the winner was how to get more energy. And so I'm gonna make a free training for you guys. Sorry, I just found a Rice Krispie on the table. That was like my kid's like treat. I'm like, okay, if you eat your scrambled eggs, you're gonna have Rice Krispies. So that was worth it to me, especially because I had a Hanukkah party today, and I know there's gonna be like a bunch of crap and donuts, and I'm not going to say no. Actually, if you want, I'll post a picture. I ate a donut today. And I met a friend there who, I don't know if she's in the group, but she knows that I'm a nutritionist. She's like, oh, you're having one? And I was like, yeah, like, I don't live in jail, you know? Like, it's not about what you do once in a while. Like, I don't even know the last time I had a donut. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm at my kid's Hanukkah party and there's, like, donuts, like, I'm going to eat one. I mean, I had half of one. No, maybe I had a whole one. I don't know. I think I started with half and then I had the other half. You probably know that trick well. Anyways, so I wanted to make sure that before we went that everyone had a good breakfast so that our blood sugar wouldn't go crazy, right? So if you have a donut that's, like, really high in sugar and carbs, on an empty stomach, your blood sugar is going to be so high and then so low, and you're going to like be so hyper and then so crazy. If instead you have like a nice solid breakfast, like my kids had, I don't want to jinx it, I shouldn't say what they had, whatever, they had a good breakfast. I don't want to jinx it, hey Mimi. Then I know when they're there that their body has more power to keep balance. So anyway, so that's why there's Rice Krispies on the table, is why I got into that. Anyways, so I wanted to tell you guys, so the energy one won. And so I made a little survey. It's the second survey. So if you guys already took a survey and you're like, Shane, I already told you what I wanted to learn. Awesome. Thank you. And there were so many different responses. That's how I realized I needed to narrow it down more. Because first I said like, oh, I'll teach you guys like, you know, in general, how to use food as medicine. Tell me what you want to learn. And I kind of knew it probably was too broad of a topic to just be like, tell me anything and I'll teach you everything. But I was kind of hoping, because I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. But anyways, there was like, you know, however many people answered, that's how many varied responses I got. And so I was like, okay, let me just do the most popular one, which was how to get like a ton of energy and be able to live your life. Like, I know, honestly, I want to say like 90% of my clients, regardless of what they come in for, like specifically, they usually always also have like, I'm exhausted all the time. And one of the questions I get a lot is like, Shana, like, how do you run your business, take care of your family, like be creative? Like, and if you were like friends with me in real life or follow me on Facebook, like on my personal page, like I'm a songwriter and I love that. And it's not something that I don't say that I'm willing to give up. It's not something that I want to give up. And I just feel like it's really important to be able to do all the things that you want to do. And to be able to do that, like you have to have energy for it all without going insane. And I'm not insane. I mean, maybe my husband would disagree. But I'm not like an overachieving type A perfectionist. I just make sure that I'm giving I make basically for myself a nutrition plan that I know will give me what I need so that I have the energy to do the things that I want. And so that's basically what I'm designing the class after for you guys. But it would still be super helpful for me if you guys want to fill out the survey. So I know where, like what specifically your questions are, where do you get stuck, what's hard for you, what in particular do you want to learn, you know what I'm saying? Because for different people, what makes it work and what makes it challenging is different. And so the more that I know about what you're struggling with, the more that I can like hit it on the head for you. So that, if you want, I'll post a link below. And as far as these Zoodles, you can totally check them out. One of my friends told me that she saw them like pre-made also like at Ralph's. I never go to Ralph's. Ralph's like a big supermarket in LA. Because they have like horrendously high, ridiculous prices. Their produce is sometimes pretty good, especially the organic stuff. But honestly, like if I would shop at Ralph's, like I would like, my body would like convulse because like I will pay literally twice as much as I will at Trader Joe's. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, this week, and if you're in LA or you have a 99-cent store near you, it might behoove you to check it out if you're on any kind of budget. I went, what did we go for? Oh, he's so sweet. My older son gave my little one a gift, like just because he asked for one. He's like, can you give me a present? And he's like, okay. So he made him like a little box with stuff inside. And he also gave him $5. And so he's like, oh, well, let's take him to the dollar store, to the 99-cent store, so he can get like 5 things instead of like going to Toys R Us and getting like half a thing. So I was like, fine. So we went there. And when I went inside, there was so much really good quality produce. A lot of it was organic. I got like organic celery. I got really good cucumbers and cherry tomatoes and bananas and those little clementines and bean sprouts and salad and and these like beautiful heads of cauliflower that I totally like ate too much of. Like it was so good, and I was like, oh, I'll say I'll make a bunch and I'll share it with my family. And then I did share it with them, but I still ate more than I should have, and then whatever. Anyways, not such a bad thing to overeat on, as you probably know. But it does matter is the truth, because if I don't get the other parts, like if I'm just having cauliflower and I'm not having protein, like or fat, like it's not going to do what I really need it to do. Right? But anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys, like you don't have to be perfect. So just like I also had a donut today, you know, you can understanding like the fundamentals of what your body needs so that you can have tons of energy and do the things in your life that are so important to you is so powerful, and does not necessitate you being perfect all the time. Like, honestly, I can't tell you how often, like, I'm at someone's house, like, for a Shabbat meal or at shul or whatever, or even, I don't know, where else do people, like, serve junk sometimes? And people are like, oh, like, are you having some of the ice cream? Are you having some of the cake? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'll have a little bit. Like, it's not like what you do, like, on, like, one small thing every now and then. Like, you don't have to be perfect on all those things. It's so much more powerful and sustainable. It's like what you do every day. It's what you're doing every single day, morning, afternoon, evening. Like that's what makes the biggest difference. And so I just wanted to share that, because I think that sometimes people get nervous of like, oh, if I move down this road of like becoming, you know, if I learn like Shayna's like secrets to get super energized, that's going to mean I have to give up my coffee, or I have to give up my whatever you think you have to give up. And like the truth is you probably don't. So I just want to share that with you. Anyways, so let me give you one more shot of the Zoodles so you can see them. Yay! I should put it in a little prettier bowl, but that's them. They're really good. I hope that it looks maybe I'll put it in a little prettier bowl before, and I'll post a picture for you guys. But I'll type up the recipe and post it for you guys too. But if you have any more questions, let me know. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.